Hey, we are back with more Thea the Awakening. I left myself some notes from last episode. This is a bit of a tricky game to play with a long gap in between episodes, so bear with me if I'm rediscovering how things work. Basically, the way with this game is like a roguelike, but with a card game at its center, and the card battles are used to resolve all sorts of different roguelike skill challenges. So I think the game I've played that's closest to it is probably Renowned Explorers, but instead of a tactical RPG as the like main mechanic through which you progress the game, it's this kind of neat card game. Sometimes you use it directly for combat, sometimes you use it for healing. It's the same basic mechanics, but for all those different things. I had party members over here. Probably need to start moving them back towards the town. I think there's an element of overextending in this game. So I'm going to try to start moving them back to where we started here. I think that's their max movement for this turn. All right, I can click and hold and see. Okay. I think I need to actually have people at this building to do Theodore's tutorial. And I've got NPCs in Astoya. I can assign their activities, manage. So we got people gathering. We got people crafting. Nobody's constructing. I need to bring resources back from the adventuring party. I think I can take the people that are in the town and send them out as a separate adventuring party, but you want to have some of your resources gathering and making things, and some of your resources actually going out and doing events. I think these folks are about as far as they're going to get. Gathering food. Just gathering wood. Craft tools, craft a plain shirt. I don't really have the materials to make any of this, so I'm not going to bother just yet. I'll be able to do this though, right? Vegetables, meat, and fuel. Form a vegetable stew, traditionally made of sauerkraut, but any veg does the job. And I think what that means is that the unit that I have assigned to making the stew, if I assign someone, will do that during this next round. So let me assign somebody now. I think she's actually the best suited for it. Alright, and I think I can just end my turn here. We never did do Theodore's tutorial, so I'm going to try it before I get back to the town to share resources. Church location.
Theodore welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world. Well done.
Brought our bones back.
Wonderful. Well done. And keep your resources. They may come in handy on a rainy day, you know. As you saw, you got both experience points and research points, on top of any material rewards. All of these will help you grow stronger.
28 more vegetables. What now?
You've discovered that some events will let you solve a situation through more than combat.
Yeah, so like if you do a dialogue solution, you do the card game.
Hard, but it means that fighting is not the only way. Remember, wounds from combat challenges can kill your people even after the fight. So choosing a different path is often safer. And having a medic in your party will help decrease the chances of dying as well. Anyway, great job on the boars.
Probs, dude. I'm actually going to ask him to run down the basic rules. Let's go.
Sure. Firstly, you can always ask me for my tips again. Reset the tutorial in the help menu. But just to give you some of the core tips, initiative is randomly rolled at the start of each challenge, so you have no control over this. Your party is split into two hands.
I did like that element a lot. There's a similar mechanic to the two hands thing in Gloomhaven.
Their closest enemy on either side, and the round begins from left to right of the table. There are various skills and weapon types that give you special tactical and offensive capabilities. These are only a few pointers, so check out the help manual for more detailed information.
The idea in Gloomhaven is that you have a move and an attack action on your turn, and the things you can do on your move action are actually more interesting than just moving some number of squares. So every action card that you have in the game that lets you do a thing can either be used as a move or as an attack. So it kind of gives you some flexibility, which is neat.
Practice makes perfect, you
You're like,
know.
oh, I can use this really powerful attack, but then I lose out on this
Let's
really
practice
interesting
one
move
more
action.
challenge type. Social encounters. I spotted a fellow demon called Hurlik, and I want you to convince him to give you some gold. When you have it, bring it back here.
Go and talk to Holik and get him to give us gold. +1 XP, nice. It's this guy over there. All right, first let me visit the town to share my resources. Don't think I need to reassign anyone here. Gathering vegetables, gathering wood. What do I need for construction here? 25 wood or stone. Plenty of. I have enough vegetables for this. I have enough iron, but I need to get wood. Okay. So what's my best way to gather it right now? Can I just put everyone on wood gathering? Since that's what I'm low on. I think I can. Who's not? Okay, that's as many people as I can right now. Okay. Here's the problem of not having someone assigned to get vegetables is that people could starve eventually. That's not great. Haven't really progressed the tech tree. I think even last episode I wasn't fully rocking the tech tree. I think the idea is that once you unlock it, then you can go out into the game world and find it and collect it. So like I can get sandstone and I can get wood, but if I hadn't unlocked it, then when I visited that node in the game world, there's nothing I could do about it. And I think that once you unlock it, it shows you a couple places in the game world where you can find it. The resource icon at the top of your HUD to show the location. Oh, I see. Resource spotted. Right. So I could use that as a way to decide where I'm going to send my party members. Cool. Bunch of wood nodes. It seems nice. Probably going to go for that this turn so I can do whatever that next thing is. Join. Move. Split expedition. Equipment. Inventory. Okay, so theoretically, I've got people on the expedition, and I've got people in the town who are focused on gathering now. And I could move things into the town's inventory. Let's just do that everywhere here. I guess we don't want to send all of the meat back, so we're going to need some of it while traveling. Most of this stuff can go back, though. I want to leave my equipment here if possible. Child. Not too helpful right now, but one day it'll grow up. I know that's right. Hey, droid, how you doing? I think that's as far as I'm going to get, so I'm going to send these guys out to try to chop some wood here. I thought I saw a couple nodes on the map a second ago. I don't know how I get those to reappear. Hold on. Dark wood and wood. I see. I'm using it as a fuel to do the work, and I can also use it as the primary material for the settlement that I'm building. Gotcha. Everybody's still assigned to chopping wood. Defeat the children to the demons. Speaking of demons, let's go do that next tutorial step here.
You find the Hurlik Theodore spoke of. He sits on a rock and stares at you with his large yellow eyes. What do you want? You looking for trouble? 'Cause I can get you some. He clenches his tiny fists at you.
No trouble, little fella. Just want to talk.
Little? Who are you calling little, you overgrown pile of softy fish bags, you? The creature huffs and puffs at you, shaking its fists violently.
Our apologies. Little is a mark of honor in our village.
Sir, don't you see that I am a woman? Ah, but a compliment, you say? Well, I suppose being little is way better than being big. So you're kind of clever to call each other little, even though you're clearly vertically challenged. So, what's your business here?
Yeah, I'm glad to be playing it again, Droid. If you can help me, if I seem to have forgotten something, I probably did since it's been a while since the last episode, so feel free to backseat as much as you like. I appreciate the tips. So if I understood this social encounter correctly, if I had opened with intimidating him, I had 2 skulls, which made it a harder encounter. Because I talked to him for a while, or talked to her for a while, the encounter is now less difficult. 2 holic, 1 crazed bee. Begin combat. Okay, so I get 1 chance to mulligan, and I guess I'm not super worried about mulliganing yet, so I'm just gonna take what they gave me, keep play. Alright, so this is a social encounter. So there are certain stats that I don't care about, right? Or rather, it morphs their stats coming in. Right, so under normal circumstances in an encounter like this, they would have different damage types, but since it's social, it kind of just reverts to 1 damage type, which is the value next to their little sword icon, right? And I want my sum total of sword icons to do more damage than its defense total, right? Now, I don't know what that green icon means. Poison. Doubles when attacking an already wounded enemy. Add to the card's total defense when it enters the battlefield. Got it. So I think I play Falibor because he has the highest defense and attack. And I can have one of my allies help here. Discard a random card from your opponent's tactics hand. Support ally. Increase by the ally's level. Lasts until the end of the current round. Get closer. Allows it to enter the battlefield, but it gets confused and loses its attack in the first fight phase. Like, that's the same thing that's happening in this one. It's basically summoning sickness. Now, it attacks from, like, cards that are adjacent to one another, right? So she won't do anything on this turn because she's not adjacent. There are different damage types to any encounter, but special types are triggered in different ways. Okay. Based on speech. I see. Because this is a social encounter. Adjacency doesn't matter in this case. Try doing a counter tactic. Oh right, it's all I can do for the turn right now. Let's see. Increase the offense of the rightmost card in the queue at the ally level. Do that again, but it wouldn't quite match their defense, right? What are my actions for the turn? We're basically setting up the board, and then once the board is set up, they'll all attack after we've decided what order everything is going to be played, right? Deal with the bee. You can't get wounds in a social encounter, it's only in actual combat, right? That should be the one that was most recently played. Okay. Fight phase. The talking speech sound effect. It's great. As far as still, I got wrecked in that little chat. Nice. 4, 0. Alright, and then since it didn't finish resolving, we keep going, right? But everything keeps its stats. So that's where I might want to mulligan and take my wounded characters and keep them in my tactical reserves. I think this is one of the first fights I've done that it didn't end on the first round of combat. Is there any... What's the logic on which cards to play first? Should I be trying to play my most powerful cards first before I know anything about the opponent's deck? He's pretty good as a tactics character, huh? First action. This card's a random card for your opponent's offense hand. It's assuming he has one that's low enough level. It looks like he didn't, so that was a waste. Okay. Try your damage soak first. Leftmost card is most likely to be hit. Okay. So 5 means that I won't die to Oleg's 4 attack. Sure. Keep sending folks out. Discard your B. You goof. That's what I expected to happen. And I forget, is this completely deterministic or is there any rolling happening? It looks like it's exactly what it says their offense is. No randomness.
Tricks, sending you here for his gold. Here you go, and tell him to come himself next time.
High levels, you might need to get closer to use backline units as blocks, as enemies can only attack the nearest to the left or right. Gotcha, and no randomness. Cool. I guess the randomness comes up in which events you find on the map, that sort of thing. A Blessing of Speech adds 5 speech for a set number of turns. That's cool. 1 XP plus 1 research, right? Oh, but it's... I need to get a total of 13 in order to gain an advancement point. Got it. Events on the map and event rewards and punishments. The actual mechanics of, like, combat and skill challenges are fixed. Nearby resources. Everybody's still going hard on getting wood. Up to 13 banked wood. Gotta get that up to 25. Let's have these folks finish turning in their shit.
Theodore welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world. Well done.
Cut the gold for you.
Oh, good, you got the gold. That wretched woman owes me, but I have no desire to speak to her. Anyway, it's a matter of principles rather than the gold itself, so just keep it. You may need it to craft better stuff, you know.
Okay, so you get a bonus after the first craft that gives you research. Sure. So try to do a unique craft and a unique build as much as possible whenever you have the resources to do it. For now, I'm trying to get enough wood to be able to do the first building in the pasture.
In social challenges, as you saw, you will face your opponent, but different skill sets become relevant, such as speech, attractiveness, and will. So just remember, different challenges use different skills. and so your party composition can have a great impact on the way you explore the
Makes
world.
sense. I think I'm more
As you
combat-oriented
perhaps
than
noticed,
speech-oriented.
research points as well as XP. You need research points to discover new materials and recipes for crafting and new buildings for your village.
Got it.
Now, you will notice that some equipment as well as buildings in your village require a lot of stuff, often things that are not easily gathered or commonly found. For such needs, I also recommend scouring the world map in search of old ruins, abandoned tunnels, ancient towers. You get the gist, right? It so happens that I know of an old dungeon that you can explore and loot. I have marked this place on your map.
Dungeon hype.
Well, yes, I have a second task for you to do at any time you're ready. Craft me 10 cooked, baked, or roasted food. Any type. You may want to research some varieties as well to match your supplies. Also, leave these 10 crafted foods in the
Thea
village
the
until I
Awakening.
show up. You don't have to rush with this one. Take your time and get to grips with managing your settlement. Remember to check the
Thea's the name of
magical
the world
help button
setting.
to read more. Yeah, I know, more about any mechanics.
Explore the dungeon, craft 10 cooked, baked, or roasted food. Plus 3 XP, plus 2 research. Gets me an advancement point. Alright, is there any guidance on which of these items I should go for first, or should I just be looking at the town for things that it says I need for crafting recipes?
That kind of sucks it with the question marks.
You don't know.
Although I guess you can really
close
guess. It looks like bones are all on the bottom right there.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what my craft options are right now. Tools. So we got clothes, tools, gathering tools. I think I can already make leather and spider silk. Or I can already find it, I mean.
It was like leather silk? What the fuck is that? But no. Leather and spider silk.
Cooked meals give you different recipes depending on the things that you select, is that correct? Pasture I need to build before I get anything else new. Let me look at the advancement tree here. Wood's good for everything in general. Metal for tools and dwarfs, bones for animals and spears. Bamboo for gathering.
Well,
So I'll try to do wood then.
yeah, because, like, do you want to be balanced? Because, right, you have the straw. You've only gotten the one. Everything else and the whatever the fuck that is.
Well, this is just revealing further into the tree. That's all it means. Like, if I pick up amber, I can see what this is. And it's probably related to it. Right, so, like, I have iron.
Okay, yeah.
So because I have iron, I can research gold, silver, or steel. If I take elven wood, that will unlock potentially 2 new things. I guess I can try to select something that gives me more information about what's on the tech tree. Quartz would be one of those. And elven wood would be one of those. More durable than common wood. Let's see what's further down the path here. Ancient wood, extremely rare. Dryad wood, black wood that releases gold resin. Okay. So maybe that's a little bit advanced for the map. Ooh. Godspeed, Gallic. Alright, so I've got a quest now with these guys. I think they want me to go down here. So let's start moving that way. Turn. Oh, there's a treasure node here.
You stumble across some ruins of an old city, engulfed in mist and mystery.
Search, possibly dangerous
You
choice.
open one of the buildings, a strange-looking stone and metal-built affair, and you hear a clunking noise, then a blunt thud. Before you are able to do anything, you see a skeleton charging your way.
Fight the skeleton and the hulking rats.
ETSs?
Yeah. So I'm thinking I might want to mulligan here because I want to get my 2 characters with high health and high damage, especially this guy, into my main hand. Can only do this once.
Do your characters tend to survive a long time, or is this one of those where they all die a lot and you get new cards?
It's a roguelike, so you got to be careful, but they regenerate after combat, which is not the way all games like this work. But tanky character out first with Alina. You said your leftmost character is the one that's most likely to get targeted. Oof. Skeleton hits really hard. 16. Mrs. Stead. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before.
No. Wait.
And I forget, does this game have damage spillover? Like, if I overkill an enemy, do I continue to damage remaining enemies, or is the extra damage basically just lost?
That's Dr. Stead, actually.
Dr. Stead. Mrs. Stead works because of the whole Mars thing.
Yeah, oh, you're right. But I didn't go to 4 years of physics graduate school.
Dr. Stead.
To be Mrs. Stead.
Only if you have a blunt weapon, that's right. So smart as stoic and overkill.
Six Gun, how's it going?
If it's not already confused as its attack in the first fight phase, that seems really useful. Okay. So hopefully I can get a bunch of damage in before they even get to attack.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Six Gun. You had a crappy week. What happened?
There. Right, he gets to attack immediately because of his damage.
Okay, right on. Well, I hope you have a good weekend that makes up for your crappy week.
That's right, I'm remembering now. So slash damage is like vanilla damage. Bludgeoning is damage carries over. And then piercing damage is they get to do damage as soon as they come into the map. So you shouldn't play a piercing character first because you're wasting their special effect. Okay.
Oh, 14-hour days? $20 says he's salary too, so he didn't get any overtime. He should just take a comp day next week.
There's a lot of
Sometimes
rats.
I do that if I work a lot. One day I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm taking a comp day. Well, especially if I work on the weekends. If I like have to work on a Saturday, I'm like, I'm taking Monday off. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Damage on the skeleton. It's a good thing he's got bludgeoning. That's a lot of wasted damage, but he only gets to do it on up to 2 creatures, right?
Oh, that's good. So that's good he got his boss on his side.
Ouch, 16.
That's a good boss.
It's not as bad. Goes a rat. Spillover damage kills the skeleton. You have
You
1.
search
No
the
wounds,
buildings
I
and
think.
discover a supplies store still
Oh wait, no, I
intact.
do get some wounds.
So does that mean he turned it down and he didn't have to work the 14-hour days?
Lowers your max health. How can I recover from wounds? Does that involve like going back to the town or something? Turquoise,
Like that one makes
feathers,
sense, if I-
monster bone, meat, pendant. Ooh, 18 sandstone. That's actually kind of a big deal. So you want to try to avoid taking any wounds if possible. Chance to equip. Recover slowly over time, faster in camp, even faster in town, and even faster with a medic or medical skills. Okay. Take the stuff and leave this place. That's what my problem is. check how I'm doing in my
Well, that's good. I'm
calendar.
glad that he got out of that. That's probably really hard to say no to, you know, someone, because clearly it was, you know, big time pressure, big emergency. And all you want to do is say you're going to help out, but like, I don't know, 14-hour days, that's rough, man. You may as well just sleep in your office.
Bringing your own animals means your people will not need to hunt so often, grants meat every turn, and can attract more humans.
So you're getting meat and wood?
Exactly.
You like meat and wood?
Oh yeah. Let's assign everyone to building this pasture, which takes them some number of turns, right? Hopefully that child grows up here eventually. Okay, I think I'm getting this a little bit better. So this is summarizing how many more turns it's going to take. Now, this means that some of the other people helping aren't doing that much to make it happen faster, right? Because just having the one character is a big enough deal. Is it because she is specialized in building crafting that it's plus 50 for her and much less for the other characters, or is it just that the first character is the most productive by far? Current HP minus 5 over 10. So at 5 your chance is low. Minus 4 you're almost guaranteed to die. Okay. First character gets 100%, the other characters get 50%. Alright, I'll set them back to gathering food then. So it's pretty good to have everyone assigned to do their own thing at first, I guess. Why don't you cook some meals? Meat, firewood, jerky. Got it.
Ooh, jerky is probably good because it can last for a long time.
1x jerky. Oh, she's gonna take 9 turns to do it because she sucks at it. She's more of a combat character, I think.
It's like when I played Oregon Trail 2, and I would just buy a gun, a shit ton of bullets, and a bunch of salt. And assume everyone else has, like, oranges or something so we don't get scurvy. Oh, you didn't get scurvy in Oregon Trail, did you?
You
Like
find
they
the
should have
solitary
added
hut of the herbalist. It is a small wooden abode with a straw roof. and
Everybody
smoke
just
coming out
bought
of the chimney.
9,000
There is a
bullets.
distinct smell of
Yeah,
herbs
then you
and
just make
medicines in the
jerky.
air. An elderly lady walks out from the house to greet you.
Welcome, travelers. What brings you to my home?
Making hammers and baskets allows you to give combat characters decent craft or gather or boost your specialists. Okay. This episode, this game is making a lot more sense now that I have more options. Told you could cure poison and wounds.
Yes, indeed I can, but I haven't survived as long as I have by running a charity. If you wish to be healed, you will do me a favour. Beware, for healing wounds I require food and wood as payment, as well as a favour. But I am warning you, even if you fail the favour, I still take the goods. Poisons are cheaper, I only require a favour. So, do you need to be cleansed of a poison or wounds?
How do you survive out here? It's not exactly safe.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, eh? Well, I am useful for one. What's the point of killing a healer? Better to have them help you and all that. But, of course, there may have been those who tried to force my hand. Let us just say that not
How many
everything
turns is a
as it
typical
seems.
successful
I
game of
seem
this
human to you,
trade?
Yet my mother was a Rusalka. Don't laugh, I was pretty once. Anyway, she didn't want me to live as a demon, so she left me with my pa, a good man, a herbalist himself. Together we lived here for years, and the spirit of my mother protects us. Well, only me now. Enough talk. Do you need healing from poison or wounds?
5 options unavailable because I don't have enough resources. Got it.
Do you need poison or healing?
I need healing, but I don't have any of the resources she requires.
Can you get them? What do you think the favor is?
It's 50 to 70 turns.
She needs,
Yeah, I guess I'm just curious, is it like, if I spend 1 turn digging around, is that really punishing, or is it, you're kind of expecting to take like over 100 turns? Sorry, what was your question?
I was gonna say, what do you think her special favor is?
I don't know, it's probably like a little mini quest would be my guess.
Get a gallon of virgin's blood.
Well, that's probably not anything that's that intense.
No, it's not that kind of game.
Sword of Darkness. Yeah, I never finished making tools last time. That was part of the problem. But I did make some progress toward it. Maybe I can reassign her to that? No, she sucks at it.
You suck at it.
I should really have her join the adventuring party until I can get her a tool to help. Maybe I'll do that when she comes back to this. I guess I'll leave her to at least work on something.
Hi, Ben.
This makes sense that you're basically making progress towards finishing the thing, and this is projecting how many turns it will take with that many characters assigned to it. Okay. So obviously try to be efficient with your turns, but a turn isn't enough to cause you to completely fail.
He's the happiest kitty right now.
Let's check the town, construct, 4 more turns. Gathering is still filling up here. He's gonna finish it. Do you, if you finish this early or if you overfill it, does it carry over into the next section of doing that task again? Or is any overkill lost, if that makes sense? Okay, cool. Overfill and repeat quest carries over. Perfect, thank you. High level's going to repeat a quest over and over. Okay, so if you're a high enough level that suppose that you had like a plus 150 bonus and the quest only had required 50 to complete, you could get 3 completions in a single turn.
Theodore welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world.
I thought I did find
No
it.
worries.
Herbalist huts. Oh shit, I missed it. I thought it was actually already a place I'd been marked to. Well, in that case, I'll stop in the town and rest. So just being in the town when the turn ends helps with wound recovery, or do I have to actually select an option for healing in that way? Let's try to do join. New expedition. Falibor. East deck. This is the little icon is showing you their specialty, right? But I can only have a maximum of 6 characters here anyway. What's his icon? Craftsman. Alright, we should leave him in town then and take Radislava instead. He's actually not bad in combat, but... Okay, if I want to add food, do that from here.
Oh, the bar scrolls.
What?
The bar scrolls.
Thank you. Meat. Oh, way over 6 in your party. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I think I'll leave him behind anyway. Since he's a craftsman. If I had any fuel. Fuel is like wood in most cases, right?
What are you gonna make him craft?
I don't know. I'll look here in a second. Probably assign him to tools. Oh yeah, plus 50. Way better. Okay. But I've already moved the wood, which is why he's on AC. Plain shirt he could work on. Cooked meals. This is one he can do this turn, so I'll do this turn and then assign someone else to look for wood. Guessing using elven wood for cooking is kind of a waste. Let me move some wood back in here really quick. Expedition. Craft. I see. 4 iron. Does the primary material I assign actually matter? Does it change what the outcome is? Clay, wood, craft tools. Looks like it does change it. Golden tools. Okay, so the value, you want the one that's the highest value on the side there, right? It's like iron is worse than steel, that makes sense. But gold and steel are comparable. Catalyst affects the chance of critical success or failure with the appropriate crafting building. I see.
Someone just drop a hammer.
Just they're assigned to making it. Gathering wood. Gathering vegetables. Okay. Let's go, team.
So you just explore and look for treasure, or are you looking for someone?
It's a roguelike, so it's a random map every time, and you're trying to explore as much as possible and build settlements and gain resources.
Okay, manifest destiny. And are there usually monsters already there and you have to kill the monsters in order to make the settlement?
No, I'm not taking over places. I'm going to dungeons and ransacking them and bringing them back.
Oh, Slash, can we acknowledge that they're little hexagons like settlers?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Okay, so she's made a good progress towards finishing the pasture. Oh, but the pasture's consuming those resources every turn. I didn't realize that before. So I need to be able to have all of these every turn that you go to make it. Oh, okay, so maybe I misunderstood then. So does it not consume the resources until work is finished? Because I thought I had committed those resources and then I ended up, I guess, accidentally respending them elsewhere. I didn't think that was possible. I need 25 sandstone, 25 wood. Is she able to work on it up until right before I need to spend the resources? Or is this just showing how many she has to spend this turn? 0 is if you want to use the ability to queue the same thing over and over again. Oh, okay. Over here. Okay, so she can stay here and keep working on it. In 2 more turns, the pasture will be done. I think I understand. Thank you.
You get cows?
I'm working on getting a pasture for cows.
Nice.
Just got some wood. Some more vegetables and some more wood next turn.
So it's another group that you have to battle? This is really just to explore and settle and...
I think there's another team on the map that I haven't run into yet.
Oh. Are they computer a computer team?
Yeah.
Not a real person team?
That's right.
Is that a skull? Ooh.
Approach the beast and you have time to decide your plan of action. Best way to slay a beast is eye to eye, attack. Warped snakes in combat. Alright, he's still a little wounded. Let's see. I got a 20 and a 23 in my main party.
Hit points the most important thing.
Damage, second number.
Oh. Your defense, best defense is best offense.
Shield ally level.
It's a good offense.
Send someone out that's not going to do damage right when they come out. Snake's got 8 health, 3 damage, and poison.
Poison is pretty rough.
So are our poison values compared to each other? Doubles when attacking an already wounded enemy. Okay. So I can have someone go out with piercing damage to do damage to that snake right away. This guy will kill the snake right when I play him. Got it, perfect. Then probably want to start using Get Closer. I'll be confused on the first round. Poisoning combat is just additional damage. It's a slightly weaker snake, but it's going to get to attack in the first round of combat. This guy could kill it because piercing damage does half of the listed damage amount when they enter the battlefield. Snake is dead already. Perfect.
And these really seem to be pretty easy.
It depends on where you are in the game. Now, does Get Closer still allow them to use their spear attack if they've got piercing damage? Okay, yes. For the full amount, too, it looks like. That'll be next turn. Oh, I should have saved him to confuse this last snake. Hopefully I'll kill it before it gets to attack me. Alright, now combat.
Nice.
Super overkill, super overkill.
Nice.
Snakes are no problem.
You have won.
Yeah, this is listed as a 1 skull difficulty combat, but there is up to 5 skull difficulty. That would kick my ass.
Oh, can you get up to like 3? Or...
Leather ivory short sword. 5 skulls is really hard.
Alright, but what can you accomplish now?
Oh, I don't know. I just started playing the game.
Oh, okay, it's probably 1s and 2s.
Ivory short sword.
So there's different kinds of skulls.
She has a staff. I don't know if I can quickly tell whether something's an upgrade or not. Most people have 2-handed weapons here. 9 damage, 6 shielding, 3 poison, 3 damage, 5 shielding. Okay, that's not great. 1 damage, piercing. Oh, hovering over an item for a while allows you to compare. Thank you. So that
Ooh,
is
that's handy.
strictly better other than the fact that it's not piercing, right? There's nothing special about slash damage. It's, you can almost think of it as like neutral damage, right? I think she must have... something must have gotten screwed up with my resource allocation here, because I don't have enough for that. Alright, well, I'll have her craft something in the meantime, I guess. I think I have tools now. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I see it goes in that slot. Yeah. Wonder why it kicked her out of working on it then. That's weird. Oh, nice. Plus 70 now instead of plus 50. Because it finishes at the same rate. Unless if I assign him to help.
Ooh,
Now it's in 1 turn. Just barely. Fantastic. Okay.
Apparently you have armor.
Some wood. Need wood more than I need food. I think all the armor that I have is equipped on everybody. I think so. I may have made some back at the base, but they're not getting attacked right now. Expedition 1 encounter. Malicious spider. How does auto resolve work in this? Is it generally, if it's like a really easy 1-star combat, is it gonna avoid me taking too much in the way of wounds? I'll do it if it's an easy encounter, but yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think there was an option to craft a shirt, which I didn't finish. It's okay if you're a little over the power level. I guess I'll try it. You won. Spider silk, bird casserole. This quest step here, this dungeon.
You enter an underground complex that turns out to be some old, long-forgotten dungeon.
No.
You're not sure what used to be the purpose of these dungeons, but they seem large.
Explore.
Inside, there are 2 main tunnels leading deeper into the complex.
You want me to pick?
Yeah, so it'll be your fault. It's bad.
Go left.
You take a left and go down a long, winding corridor with empty alcoves spread about in equal spaces, each alcove hiding a potential doorway to explore. You enter one such opening, and you arrive at a small, empty chamber. You were about to leave when a ghost stands in your way. I am Zarazar. Please don't go yet. My spirit has been trapped here for decades. I cannot leave here, you see, because everywhere I go, I bring disease and death with me. But I do not want to do this.
Disease and death? Oh no!
Seems like we should probably avoid you.
Wait. In this chamber, and only here, I do not spread the filthy plague unless I touch someone.
Like you should
This
stay.
is why I haven't left in decades. Please help me.
Does sound terrible, so we'll help.
All
to
you have
do?
to do is to willingly let me touch you. I know this is asking much, but if you win with the disease, and I think you will, I will reward you, I swear. Once you have healed, I will no longer bear my curse of Zarazar. I was a Dola once, a friendly demon, helping people. If you help, I will bless your entire party. You will be healthier for a time, but if you fail,
Zarazar's
one of you
plague
may
in
fall
Polish.
ill.
Yeah, let's get down with the sickness. My party, I think I have one character that's good at sickness checks. Cure sickness. Begin.
Dun 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 dun.
Alright.
Do you get to like play chicken soup? Take a nap?
Yeah, so like she's the medic, right? And her combat stat, the sword, is usually pretty bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a medic, it's a 10 here, which is quite good. I do want to have her in the front, I think.
I thought he was just gonna touch one of you.
Protect your 10 damage characters with the tanks. The tanks are the ones that have the highest defense because they have the most constitution. So I basically want her to go last in this one. 9. We can get rid of some of the tactic cards. Left and right. Okay, that's right. Thank you. So put another tanky person out. I guess I've already screwed it up, but I can know how to do it right next time. So I should have played Alina, and then Morzaslava, and then Radoslava, right? I'm not gonna be able to counter a tactic here.
Why does get closer cause them to be confused?
The idea is that you have an offense hand that's attacking directly and a tactics hand that has little special effects. Get closer means that they get to participate in the combat, but combat takes place in 2 rounds, a first round and a second round. And when you do get closer, they don't get to participate in the first round.
Because they're confused.
Yeah.
They're still assessing the situation.
Yeah, it's like summoning sickness and magic. All right, so that's bad. It's might be okay because it's confused, so it won't get to hurt on the first turn as long as it dies before it gets to go and attack her. Let's see what happens. This might be bad. My damage isn't great here, to be honest. This may have been a mistake. There's the 10 damage. Ow.
Oh, 1! Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it made me take a lot of extra damage. Okay, she did do the damage before she got hit, so that's a good sign.
Hey.
I think we'll be okay. This is probably okay. Counter offense, it's not very high level for that. He only has the 1 card now.
Dude, why did this
16.
go up?
It's a buff from his card. Adds to the total defense when it enters the battlefield. Alright, so it can deal 9. So Svardestoy is the only character that won't get killed by it. Shield ally, rightmost card, equal to shield ally level, which is only 1. So if I could do shield ally twice, that would help. Offense, it's too late to do that. Counter tactic, it's too late to do that. I guess if Cure Sickness attacks Svardestoy, that's good. If it attacks Morzaslava, that's extremely bad. I wish that was a +2 instead of a +1. That may have been pointless to have done it that way. Let's see what happens here.
Oh good, he attacked that guy.
This thing, oh, that sucks. There's all my damage. I should have done that differently just to make sure that she would kill it successfully. I can still eventually win, and I'm not actually super clear what happens in a sickness event when cards get discarded.
Oh man.
Let's do our mulligan. Wasn't great.
Will of the Wisps? Oh, Ori. Is that the dog wolf thing? Ori? With the pretty Asian art?
You're thinking of Okami.
Okami.
Took me a second, like, what is she talking about? Ori's a really, really good. Oh man, that shield is nasty. I guess this. Now I understand what shield is all about.
Was Ori one of the first ones you did?
Yeah, it was like the 3rd game I streamed. It was Metroidvania. Shield is so that when combat goes to multiple rounds, it's harder to kill them because they start with more health each time. Okay, I'll let him get burned. The only penalty or bonus is what happens in the text adventure. There's no damage. Okay, so as long as we don't get wiped out, we should be okay. And I think we'll be okay to not get wiped out. Oh shit, I should have set them out. It's bad. I think I still win? Nope. Well, now that I'm making these gigantic mistakes, I think this just barely wins. Hooray! Didn't deserve it. Made a ton of mistakes.
The sickness. The Zarazar changes before your very eyes, and from a ghostly wraith, she takes on the form of a healthy young woman.
Oh, look.
Thank you. Here is my blessing as promised. If you ever come back here, you may find my sisters. Do try to help them too. Now I
Okay.
must go. She then
That's your
changes into a
blessing?
black
Help my
cat and
sisters?
runs
No,
through
I get
the
all
wall.
these stat bonuses.
Good. She's like, here's my blessing. My sisters are here
Sure.
too. Please help them. And then
Fantastic.
she runs away.
Okay, so I need to leave a ton of notes for my future self with this game. I'm just going to pause the clock while I do it here. Future Marstead. First of all, make a note that these notes I'm leaving to you now, you should leave as a message to every future episode. I'm going to try to summarize the basic gameplay loop as much as possible. The main expedition party, you move by holding right-click on them and selecting a hex tile. Right now, you can click on this icon down here in order to check out their inventory, assign things to them, that sort of a thing. They're exploring around. You occasionally want to bring them back to the town to share the things they found with the town. The town has a number of units in it right now that you can assign to different tasks. This value here in the parentheses shows how much work they're going to do towards completing the task this week. You want to have this little symbol above everyone's portrait that says that they're doing something the week that you have them assigned. So this week, for instance, it's going to take her 1 turn to gather 14 food. It's going to take him 2 turns to gather 7 wood. They're not assigned to anything right now, but they're better at crafting and construction. Construction, it looks like you need more resources to be able to finish. You haven't finished making the pasture yet. Crafting, if you get jerky, that's slightly better food. If you get tools, you can give them to characters to give them higher bonuses when they're completing these things here. Keep an eye on your supplies and your inventory. Try to bring as much stuff back as you possibly can. Research, every time you get an advancement point, you can pick up one of these things that shows you places you can collect these objects on the world map. The main thing you should be focusing on right now is doing the tutorial step that's described here and then bringing it back to Theodore's tutorial tower next episode. Oh, did the pasture finish? Okay, so before I leave then, where can I see that? Settlement buildings. All right, so this is producing food and making it more likely to attract new humans every turn. Okay, cool. Thanks, Droid. I think that's everything you need to know for now. The combat system, go back and watch the previous combat. Basically, it lays cards on the board. Cards try to attack either on the left or right of them. So if you have another character blocking an enemy card, it can't get to the second character further away from it. So you kind of want to have your damage-dealing characters with tank characters on either side of them. There's 3 different damage types. Slash damage is neutral. Piercing damage does damage when it enters the battlefield. Bludgeoning damage is spillover damage, so when it kills something, it does its remaining damage to one other unit that's still on the screen.
Nice.
It's quite nice, yeah. And then there's all kinds of different challenges, and different characters are better at different challenges. Combat is the most dangerous. Taking any kind of damage in combat actually inflicts wounds and reduces your max health. But other sorts of challenges, like social and sickness challenges, as long as you win, there's no specific penalties for cards losing. That's everything, future me. Thanks, Droid, for your help today.